Now we come to the lecture. As you know, this course is for B.PHARMA Honors Second SEM, Environmental Studies, and Water Pollution is the session. Previously, we have discussed what is pollution, and now we are going to discuss water pollution. So, water pollution can be defined as an alternation or any change in the physical, chemical, or biological characteristics of water, and which makes it unsuitable for the designated use in its natural state. That means you are not making any change in the water and using that water in the same way as it was present. Now, if it is used in the same way as present and is unsuitable for use, that means it is polluted. And what types of pollution can be? It can be in physical form, in chemical form, or in biological form. Now, what can be the sources of water pollution? So, water pollution is an essential commodity for survival. Jal hi jeevan hai. So, we need water for so many activities like drinking, cooking, bathing, washing, irrigation, and for industrial operations also. Most of the water for such comes from where? It either comes from rivers, from lakes, or for groundwater sources. For example, in Jaipur, we have the, the water coming from different sources. We have a lake, we have dams, and different sources of water. Now, water has the property to dissolve many substances in it. Because of this property only, it is getting easily polluted. Now, pollution can be caused from point source or non-point source. Point source is specific site near that water into which we are discharging the effluents. And the major examples of these point sources of water pollution are big industries, power plants, underground coal mines, and offshore oil wells. They are polluting the water which is nearby their source. Now, discharge from these water non-point source is not at any particular site, rather these sources are scattered, which can be individually or collectively pollute water. So there is no one way. You can have different industries polluting the same river located at different places. The surface run of water from agriculture fields, overflowing small drains, नालियाँ नाले सब जब overflow हो जाते हैं, so they are polluting. Rain water sweeping roads and fields. When the rain falls on the ground, it is pure. It does not have any kind of pollution. But when it falls on the road and fields, it collects with itself different kinds of pollution. And atmospheric deposition are the non-point source of water pollution. Now, groundwater pollution, there are different types of water pollution. So, groundwater pollution, a number of potential sources for groundwater pollution are there. Usually, it is not polluted, but there is pollution due to septic tanks. Seepage of septic tanks into the groundwater pollutes the water. Industry, textiles, chemicals, tanneries, deep well injections, minings, etc. responsible for groundwater pollution, which is irreversible. Groundwater pollution with arsenic, fluoride, or nitrate are posing a serious health hazard. Now we come to the surface water pollution. The major sources of surface water pollution are sewage, industrial effluents, now sewage water pollution is very harmful and Industrial effluents, they are containing high alkali, high temperature, high radioactive substances, cyanides, metals, etc. Then is synthetic detergents. Those detergents which we use for our washing of clothes, washing, are also causing water pollution. Then we have the agrochemicals. Now, when we come to the agrochemicals, these chemicals can be causing water pollution because they are having lots of harmful ingredients in their formula. The fungicides, the pesticides, and the fertilizers, when they are running off and joining the water source, they are causing water pollution. Oil spillage from the seawater during drilling and shipment are also a cause of water pollution. Then we have another kind of water pollution which we do not pay attention to, that is from the heat, hot water or temperature of the water body discharged from the industries is very high, and when it reaches there, it affects the survival and distribution of the sensitive species of fishes and other animals or plants. Now, the effect of water pollution can be oxygen demanding waste. That means that the organic matter is decomposed by microorganisms which are present in water. Now, for this degradation, they require oxygen. As they're living there, they are taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. So, since they are using the oxygen, they are also being lowering the DO, that is the demand oxygen, and the lower demand oxygen may be harmful to animals, especially to the fish population. Oxygen depletion helps in the release of phosphates from the bottom sediments, and the excess of phosphates causes eutrophication. Nitrogen and phosphorus compounds, as such, they are nutrients, but additions of these compounds help the growth of algae and other plants, which when die again consume oxygen underwater. So they produce a foul smelling gas under anaerobic conditions. Excess growth or decomposition of plant material changes the carbon dioxide concentration and thereby the pH. Oxygen, temperature, and so many characteristics of water are again changed. Pathogens. Now, many microorganisms which can be pathogenic or non-pathogenic through wastewater, especially sewage, and they also contain many viruses. They are causing water pollution. The waterborne diseases are cholera, dysentery, typhoid, jaundice, etc., which are spread by water contaminated with sewage. Toxic compounds such as heavy metals, pesticides, cyanides, and many other organic or inorganic compounds are also harmful to the aquatic organisms. Now we are coming to the main and the major part is how to control water pollution. It is easy to control water pollution from the point source by legislation. Legislation, you are applying rules and regulations. So judicial use of agrochemicals. There is a limit of how much you can use. There should be a law on it. And avoid using these agrochemicals on sloped land because they will go away with the runoff water. Instead of using supplements or fertilizers, we can use nitrogen fixing plants. And we can adopt integrated pest management also so as to reduce the pesticides on which the plant, our agrochem industry is dependent. We can also prevent the runoff of manure because such runoff contains the water, rich water, and nutrient-rich water can be used as fertilizers in the fields. The separate drainage for rain and sewage water should be prevented. It should not be polluted with the sewage water, and rainwater can be allowed to flow. And then the most important, planting trees. Why? Because sediments also cause soil erosion and they enter the water, the rivers, and cause water pollution. Now, wastewater can be properly treated by primary and secondary treatments. This is the point source where we are reducing water pollution to discharge the BOD and COD levels to permissible levels of discharge. Now, advanced treatment for removal of nitrates and phosphates is required so that eutrophication does not take place, and this should be done before the discharge of wastewater. And we should also disinfect the water which may be having disease causing organisms like bacteria, viruses, etc. Proper chlorination should be done to prevent the formation of fluorinated hydrocarbons, and this can be done by ozone or ultraviolet radiations. So I hope you enjoyed this lecture and gained information. These are the sources, and thank you very much.